Let me start off by saying I love the S23 Ultra, okay? So before you go down in the comments and start angrily typing, he hates the S23 Ultra. No, I don't. I've been carrying around both of these phones for a while now, and while I love both, these are some of the things I feel like the iPhone still does just a little bit better. Does that mean the S23 Ultra is not worth buying? No, it does not. This phone is still amazing. I've made a ton of videos on it. Definitely go check them out. I love this phone, okay? Let's get that straight. But let's move into the first thing that I still think the iPhone does better, and that is cases. Now, more specifically, aftermarket cases. So if you want to buy an aftermarket case for the S23 Ultra, it's not really that fun of an experience. A lot of case manufacturers actually don't manufacture cases for the S23 Ultra. So if you look up cases for the iPhone, you're gonna find a ton of companies, a ton of different options. But if you go the S23 Ultra route, there's not nearly as many, unfortunately. So I'm a big case guy, so I like to have, maybe a couple different cases, and I know a lot of my favorite manufacturers that make cases for iPhones, like Nomad in particular, don't make cases for the S23 Ultra. Now, will they one day? I'm not sure. But I do know that finding a case for the S23 Ultra might be a little bit harder depending on what kind of cases you like. But as far as the case goes for the S23 Ultra, I have been using the Magback case, and this has been my favorite case ever since I got it. I've made a video on it up here, and also I have an updated review coming up on this case since I've been carrying it. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Moving on to the second thing that I still think the iPhone does better, and that is integration with the other devices in the ecosystem. Now, I know Samsung does have a pretty decent ecosystem, and it's getting better as time goes on, but the Apple Watch integration in particular with the iPhone, and with the iPhone being able to copy something and immediately being able to paste it on MacBook is just so helpful. And AirDrop as well. I know Samsung does have their alternatives, but it tends not to work as good as AirDrop, and also not as fast. It's just really convenient being able to easily move files from one device to another. Now, the third thing that I think the iPhone does a little bit better is the optimization of the software. So I'm not sure if it's just because I've been on iPhone for so long, but One UI just doesn't feel as smooth as iOS does. I am not saying One UI is bad. Again, I love this phone. I love One UI. It's just not quite as smooth and snappy as iOS is. I've also noticed I've experienced a few more bugs and just kind of little hiccups and such while using the software on Samsung. When on iOS, I don't really run into any of that. Is it anything that makes this phone worse than this phone? Not really. It's just small things that I think Apple does a little bit better. Now, another thing that I feel like Apple does a little bit better than Samsung is support. Now, being able to bring your iPhone into just pretty much any Apple store if you have one near you can be really convenient, as opposed to having a Samsung not really having anywhere to bring it unless you were to bring it like to a mobile phone repair shop or something like that. But there's nothing compared to an Apple store for the Samsung. And as far as Samsung support goes, I have heard some horror stories about Samsung support, but I've also heard a lot of good things. Thankfully, I personally haven't had to deal with them, so my phone has been all good, no problems that I would need to call them about, so that's good. I don't know, just being able to talk to someone face to face kind of makes a big difference for me personally. Last but not least is resale value. Now, typically with Android devices, their value drops pretty quick. And I know for this device specifically, the S23 Ultra, it has came down in price multiple times since it's a release already, and I've seen it as low as $800, $850, $900. It frequently drops down below there, which can be a great thing if you are looking to buy the phone new. Now that I think about it, this one could also be a positive, because if you want to buy the phone new, you just wait around a little bit and you can probably get one of these at a great discount and save you a lot of money. Meanwhile, as with iPhone, these things don't really go on sale at all. But on with the point, iPhones tend to have way better resale value. As long as you keep your phone in good condition by using a screen protector or a case, you will be able to get probably a little bit more money back than you think when you go to sell your iPhone, assuming you don't trade it in for the next one. And assuming you don't trade it in for the S23 Ultra, because this phone has been blowing up recently. It's an awesome phone. I love it. Don't get me wrong. While yes, these things are things that Apple might still do a little bit better, that does not degrade the S23 Ultra at all. It is still an amazing phone, and if you are wanting to give Samsung a try, I definitely recommend this phone. It's amazing. If you made it this far into the video, drop me an emoji down below. I appreciate all of you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.